Hey 8th graders, welcome back. Today you guys are going to be doing a little practice calculating averages. So your learning target today is when given a set of data, I can calculate the average. So obviously in science we do a lot of different experiments where we maybe do multiple trials or we have a set of data and we need to find a number that represents that set of data. So that's what an average is. The reason we're doing this right now is as we're starting off our thermal energy unit, we're going to be calculating the kinetic or the average kinetic energy of molecules and how that relates to temperature, heat, thermal energy, all those things. So you guys will see averages throughout this whole unit. So I want you guys to have a good understanding of what an average is and how we calculate it. Okay? So moving on. First things first is I want you guys to watch this video. Now, if you guys have already done the M&M lab, you've already watched this same video. So you only really need to watch it again if you guys maybe need a refresher already. Okay, you know, it's been maybe 2 days since you've done the M&M lab and you want a little reminder on how to calculate averages. So if you guys have already watched that, great. You're good. You don't have to watch that. But if you haven't already watched it, go ahead, right-click, open the link, and watch this short 3-minute video. It talks about what an average is and gives you guys 2 examples of how to calculate an average for 2 different data sets. Okay? All right, so here's a little example for you guys that we're going to do in class. First of all, you guys will need a calculator throughout this activity. So right-click this link to the calculator, and it should take you guys into this online calculator. So you guys will be using that. So what we see is if in science we did this little experiment where we were timing something and collecting that time as our data. You can see I have 3 trials, 1, 2, and 3. And then we need to find an average or a number that represents that. So again, if you guys did the M&M lab already, you've already done this example. So your first step when calculating an average is to add up all the sets of data, all the trials, whatever the case, all the numbers. So in this case, we're going to take 72 plus 59 plus 66. So 72 plus 59 plus 66 equals 197. So you guys will see that right here. 72 plus 59 plus 66 is 197. One of the biggest mistakes I see kids do is they say, all right, your average is 197. But do you guys think that that number accurately represents these 3 times? Okay? It's huge compared to the other ones. So no, it really doesn't. Okay, so that leads us to our next step, which is divide by the number of trials or divide by the number of numbers that you added up, however you guys want to look at it. So in this case, we had 3 numbers or 3 trials. So we're going to take 197 divided by 3. So here's 197, divide that by 3. So our answer is 65.6666667. Okay, do I need you to write that whole decimal? No. You guys can go ahead and round to just 1 decimal point. So 65.7 is good enough. So right here, you guys would type in 65.7. Okay? All right, so you guys obviously need to type that answer in right there as this is part of your guys' assignment. So make sure you guys show me you've watched this video by typing in that answer. Okay? All right, moving on, I'm going to do one more example for you guys, and then I'm going to let you guys finish this on your own. So calculate the average voltage of the following experiment. So we did some experiment where we calculated, collected data for the voltage for 4 different trials. Okay, so you guys need to find the average to that. So we've got 120.4. I'm going to go ahead and clear my calculator. First step, again, is to add up all the trials. So 120.4 plus 108.1, 108.1 plus 121.9 plus 115.5. So our answer for our first step is 465.9. If we look at all these numbers, they're all kind of in the early hundreds or the lower hundreds. So do you think this number represents those 4 pieces of data? Okay, your answer should be no. It's way higher, okay, almost 4 times as high. So that leads us to our next step. Divide by the number of trials or the number of numbers, however you guys want to look at it. In this case, I had 4 different data points or data sets, okay? So I'm going to take 465.9, divide that by 4. And your answer there should be 116.48. So we can go ahead and round up. So 116.5 is good enough for me. Okay, so I look at that, and now that number actually looks very similar to these numbers here. So that's our average. That's what represents that set of data. So we can say, you know, on average, we're going to see 116.5 volts for whatever experiment we're doing. Okay? All right, so what I want you guys to do is you have 6 questions to answer on your own. Question 1, you guys are calculating average velocity. You have 3 sets of data to look at. For question 2, you're looking at average temperature in degrees Celsius. So you have 5 different data points there. So add them up, divide by 5. This one you have, again, 4 percentage of water in snow. And then here we have a big one. We have 10 trials that showed us time in seconds. So what's the average for that? And question 5, distance in meters. And then I guess you only have 5 questions to do. Lucky you guys. Okay, and then finally do your wrap up. So use the draw tool to circle yes or no. So do you have any questions? Obviously, if it's something that's preventing you from doing this assignment, let me know right away. Okay, if you have a question that's just random, you guys can type it in right there and I'll try to get back to you. And then how do you think you did? 4, 3, 2, 1. So this might look like this. If I give you a quiz on averages right now, will you get 100%? That's a 4. Okay, will you get an A? That's probably a 3. Will you get a B or a C? That's probably a 2. And then would you guys get maybe a C or a D, or excuse me, a D or an F? Okay, you just really don't understand it. That's a 1. Okay, after that, you guys are all finished up. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you guys again. Bye.